What is up, Force fam? Star Wars Dad back for another video. Today we're going to be looking at a similar deck list to the one that I did last week. Mother Talzin with the Fortress Vader base. Before we get into today's video, please make sure to check out my Patreon, where we have over 100 deck lists at this point and are building a great community with giveaways and all sorts of additional content. And please make sure to like and subscribe, as it really does help the channel to grow. And make sure to sign up for the 4,500 subscriber giveaway, where I'll be giving away 3 prestige foils to 3 lucky winners. So to get into today's list, so there's been a few updates to the Maul Blue or the Mother Talzin Red. So I just kind of wanted to keep playing this list. I've been having so much fun with this deck. The main board is extremely similar because they have very similar abilities. So the difference, when it comes down to it with Mother Talzin versus Maul, is that Talzin comes out a turn earlier and only does the -1/1 to 1 unit, where Maul comes out a turn later, has a better attack but less HP, and then damages 2 units. So Talzin, I guess you could say, gets around shields a little easier, but with all the units in here, I think both of them do a good job of getting around shields. Maul just has to ping a shield, but gets to do 2 damage to 2 units if there are no shields being played, and then can set up knockouts on 2 different units a lot easier. So one of the new additions is Sorceress Blast that just came out today, like 2 hours ago, and I just immediately was like, all right, I'm putting that in these decks because it is amazing. So it says use the Force. If you do, deal 3 damage to a unit. So basically, for 1 cost in this deck, and as well as Darth Maul, you are doing 4 damage to a unit for 1 resource, because their action abilities are free. So that is absolutely insane. Such a consistent, reliable, cheap piece of removal. Because of all your Force synergy, like, that is not going to be hard to get online, and just the fact it just fits the theme of what this build is, like a lot of really cheap removal, which in general I think this set has because of Force Throw, if Force Throw stays around. But in these lists in particular, because you have Force Lightning in here as well, it's just now of course Force Lightning is going to cost more than 1, but it's still just a very cheap piece of removal. Can be incredibly effective in this deck for 3-4 resources and is very good at removing leaders. But Sorcerer's Blast just gives us this deck another amazing cheap piece of removal. Daring Raid was the card I was using in that spot before, but this is a little better. The only slight difference is that Daring Raid is able to hit the base and is able to immediately do something on turn 1. But I think Sorcerer's Blast it's just worth it because the benefits outweigh those 2 things. But if you haven't seen the Darth Maul list, definitely check that out. That is, both of these are my 2 favorite decks to play right now, and you'll kind of see why when I'm playing them. But so we're playing the 3 Force Lightning. Force Lightning is absolutely insane. This set, we finally have enough Force units. We have so many 2-drops to get Force Lightning online very consistently. It is incredible at dealing with leaders. It is our rival's fall, basically, in this deck. Say we're playing against, say, Quinlan, right? 7 HP, so for 5 resources, we're using Force Lightning, and we're taking that out immediately. 1 resource, and then 4 resources to do 8 damage. Obviously, it doesn't get around shields, so keep that in mind. So you're going to have to find a way to remove the shield first, and that's one of the reasons where Darth Maul can be a little better, because you use the Force to remove the shield before you use the Force Lightning. But like I said, they both kind of have their takes, and I think they're both strong and very similar in a lot of ways. But Force Lightning is just nuts. Obviously, it's great against Crate Dragon. It's always been good against Crate Dragon, but now we have consistent Force units to be able to just destroy cards like that. Just the fact that they lose their ability is crazy. So many cards that's good against. 3 Force Throw, of course, to disrupt their hand and just to do a lot of damage. Just kind of that. Disrupting their hand combined with playing units that come in and immediately remove things is just, it's very disheartening for your opponent. Like, they're going to get frustrated. A lot of these games, they don't end up even coming close to me finishing, because it's just like they're kind of locked out, right? Like, we get to a point where we're just continuing to play more units that are removing their units, and their board is empty and we have 3 units on board. Because that happens a lot, there's an argument to even play a card like Kiadi Mundi, because you can easily get Coordinate online. It's a force unit, it's a 5/7, but that's another card I would consider for these decks, just because it happens so often that I have 3 units on board, and to be able to draw 2 cards anytime my opponent tries to play 2 things, which they're going to try to do because they're going to be behind on the board a lot of times. So just something else to think about. 3 Sorcerer's Blast, we talked about that. 3 Acolyte of the Beyond. It's on attack, and when defeated, just allows you to activate the Force, so that's just very strong. Kind of does the same thing as all of our Force units early on. And it might be replaced if there's a better Force unit that gets revealed. These are just kind of where we're at the moment, just to kind of give you a baseline list that's fun to play and strong. Karis is very strong in here because when it's defeated, you can do -2/2, so that fits the theme of things. You can a lot of times tack in with Karis and on purpose get it defeated, -2/2 on something, and then immediately you have activated your Force, and then you can play like a Talzin or an Anakin and do basically -5/5, and then if you play Anakin, you could do -5/5, and then you could use Talzin's ability to do -6/6 on a unit, just with those combination of cards, and that's very easy to pull off in a deck like this. That's what I love about these decks, is like you're using all these cards combined to make things happen based on the board state. And you'll kind of see what happens during the gameplay. Night Sister has been very strong. It's just nice because of all the force throws, and hand disruption is still a big thing, and it's going to be a big thing. Night Sister is just a great way to, like, against those decks that we know are going to try to do that, we're always going to keep that card and play it so that we can try to replenish our hand. And sometimes we do want to force throw ourselves too. Like if there's a big threat on board, we might get rid of a Dooku or a Palpatine or an Avenger early on and just force throw ourselves to make sure that that thing dies. So that's another reason that Night Sister is good, because we can replenish our hand if we do that to ourselves. Drain Essence is just another good strong turn 1 play. Gets the Force activated, which is great now in combination with Sorcerer's Blast. So we can remove a thing, and then for 2 damage at least, and then we can that basically gets Sorcerer's Blast online at any given time that we need it to get online too. So if we play those cards in combination together, if you needed to, you could do 5 damage without any units on board. So Force Choke, of course, gets even better this set because it only costs 1 resource the majority of the time because of all the Force energy. And that is a thing that a lot of times catches your opponents off guard right now, because people are still getting used to the fact that Force Choke only costs 1. So a lot of times you'll catch them off guard, like they'll play their 6 HP unit thinking that they're safe, and you have 1 resource left, and then you have activated the Force online, you do Force Choke for 5, and then Talzin to -1/1, and you take out that 6 HP unit. And it basically just, like I said, it's just really breaks their spirit. I don't know how else to say it. Because, playing against this is not fun, especially when someone really has played this a lot. Like, this is a very good deck. 3 Disabling Fang Fighters. That is in here because one of the weaknesses of this deck, I would say, is that if a unit gets too big with all these lightsabers and upgrades and pilots, Disabling Fang Fighter is just really important to keep things in reach. We do have the No Glory now, which is that combined with Force Lightning, combined with all of our units that do removal, it does really get things into much more likely to have an answer. Let's put it that way. But Fang Fighter is another answer to keep things in check and to keep them in range for all of our cheap removal. Fifth Brother is just very strong. It sets up knockouts. It fits the theme of what we're doing here, damaging things on the ground to set up knockouts with Talzin and with our units that we play. So, and then, getting our Force activations online, and also just kind of being a beefy unit to get in for 5 damage once it has 3 damage on it. Marin is very good. Not only is it, a unit that stays on board, it kind of sticks to the board pretty well, but it's a great way to snipe things in space as well as set up knockouts for our units that come in and immediately remove things. Darth Tyrannus is great because of its shield and because it doesn't actually use the Force token, and it can have ambush as long as we have the Force token online. Talzin's Assassin, of course, is just one of my favorite cards in here because it is a non-unique unit and is great at taking things out in space for us, as well as just a good beefy 4/4, right? So it's a 4/4 that comes into play that does minus 3/3. So essentially minus 4/4. A lot of times what I'm doing with Talzin is killing something in space and then playing like a force choke to kill something on the ground. It's just a and then on the same turn I can activate Talzin and attack and kill something else. So it's just that's a great combination. It's just an overall amazing card. One of my favorite cards from the new set. The 3 No Glory is a recent addition in the past few days at least. And since I've made that, this deck has been absolutely bonkers. Like, I don't think I've taken too many losses. Maybe one, maybe two with either this deck or Maul since I've added that in. That was what was missing from the other lists. It just kind of gives us that consistent answer to those big threats and just the fact that we don't have to deal with the abilities of those cards either because we take control of it just adds to what Force Lightning does as well. So this deck is just can be brutal. Anakin, we're playing 3 of those now, just to consistently find that card because it is just so amazing. I call it Baby Luke. Baby Luke is really just another way to snipe things in space, to finish things off, to weaken big threats, to set them up for knockouts for the units that are already on board. Just all sorts of stuff. And again, it's a unit, it's not a piece of removal. I mean, if you think about the units combined with the removal we have in here, so we got the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pieces of removal. So 18 pieces of removal. Then we have Karis, so 21. Marin, I would consider that removal. It's 24. I mean, Tyrannus is a piece of removal. It's 27. Talzin's 30. Anakin's 33. Dooku, 35. Snoke at 37. 39 with Avenger. That's just insane. 39 pieces of removal in this deck. Then we go to Dooku. Dooku is just another way, and I definitely have found that I mostly play this on the 6/7 resource turn as a way to just sacrifice one unit and kind of build my hand back up to, and then get a 6/6 on board and finish off something that's been weakened. Usually like sacrifice like a Darth Tyrannus or a Talzin's Assassin or something like that. Really depends on the situation, just to give us that 6/6 with Overwhelm and start to really close the game out as our opponent continues to try to find ways to get units back on the board. And then one of the recent additions in the main board has been Snoke. It just makes too much sense in here because its ability just matches up so well with Talzin and all the units that we're using in this deck, and as well as the pieces of removal. Snoke's just too good in here as a main board card. There's even an argument that it should be the third copy in the sideboard, potentially just because it was so good, or even in the main board. And that's still, further testing to figure out what the optimal list is. But for now, I like the one copy of No Disintegrations just because it has good synergy with Talzin as well, even though it does take 2 actions. And the 2 Avenger, just having another when played effect that removes our opponent's units is just insane at the top end. 3 top target is going to be in the side. This is early theory crafting, so just keep that in mind. But so far, where I'm at with the sideboard is 3 top target for those more aggressive opponents. The 1 copy of the No Disintegrations is just an additional piece of removal for decks that are playing a lot of big threats. So we just have an additional answer. 2 Pillage for more control matchups. The Palpatine's going to come in against more mid-range, potentially against control. And the 2 Crate Dragon are going to be coming against mostly against control type decks. So this deck has been awesome. I would love to hear how you guys are building this deck. I've had a blast playing both this and Maul. But let's get into a few games so I can kind of show you how I have been playing this deck and how it works. Yeah, we're gonna have to mulligan this, unfortunately. Love the force throws, but maybe we could resource Smuggler's Aid and the Avenger. It just doesn't feel like a hand that we want. This is better. Okay. So we're just gonna get rid of Palp and Fifth Brother, go Karis into Fifth Brother most likely, and then start using Force Lightnings, I would imagine, but we'll see. Yeah, we just want to establish good things early. Start removing things. Put him under pressure. Okay. Yeah, I mean, we could kill that right away, which doesn't feel like a bad idea, especially because we have a daring raid. Smuggler's Aid is going to be a resource. He does have ECL, but we're going to go and daring raid this. Just to get that off the board. Can still do 2 damage to something else if he pings something else. Okay. Can do 2 damage to that. Oh, it's hidden, so we can't do anything. It does lose its abilities though, right? Yeah, but we're only doing 2, so we could kill it this phase. We could play Fifth Brother, another Force Lightning, also a -3/3. Doesn't kill it though. Hmm. I feel like we need to get another unit established here. Three Force Lightnings, that's crazy. Heal up to 2 damage from a unit. If you do that, deal that much damage to a unit. Yeah. Definitely want to make this thing interesting, okay? Well, let's just get that out of here. Don't want to be dealing with that all game. Probably just could have done that to begin with, but whatever. What you gonna do? We could make this an O2 with Talkin. Or we could just kill it for 3. Then we can't play anything else. This comes out on 5. He has ECL, so he could kill this card, which we could still kill his. Well, we already used the Force, actually, so no, we can't. Okay. Is he going for the double kill? Yes, I think so. They always have that card, right? Let's just kill that. Yes. Okay. Just kill Poe for 1. I mean, that's pretty good too. We haven't seen any Anakins yet. I think this is just a card we're going to smuggle for now. That was definitely a good draw. Using his ability, what's he cheating out? Finding some force throws and some force chokes feels like some good things to find here soon too. Okay. He's just attacking. Never mind. No, I don't know. I don't know what's happening. Okay. Um, I think we should just get rid of that, right? I don't know. I feel like we need to get some more units on the board. So far, I'm definitely liking Maul better. Wow, that's nice. Okay. Okay. That's a good find. I'm not sure how useful this card's going to be. I could be totally wrong, and then they could immediately upgrade it. Something. But we'll see. Going to kill us or going face? Okay, he's going with a different ambush units. Okay, sure. Um, so we can kill two things here. We can kill something with Darth. So we're definitely going to kill the 5/5. I think that's just happening regardless, right? Uh, that just gets it to a 2/5. Okay, so let's do it this way. Make this a 3/6. We want to take this card out. Then we can kill. Yeah, we can clear their board here, unless they play another unit, which it looks like they are. Nope. Okay, so we're going to. We need to do three. We need four resources to be able to do that. Okay, so we're one off. Let's take out the 5/5. Shielded first, yeah. Just waiting on our opponent. Yeah, I mean, at this point, we're looking to find like big things. There's the big thing. Okay. Do we need to resource here? Probably not. And of course, Smuggler's Aid is in here for Anakin in case we get to play it for 3 resources, and then Anakin can do -6/6. I think we're just gonna hold our hand. I mean, we know the Crate Dragon and things like that are coming, so the Force Lightning is gonna be pretty important. Here's another blue leader, another ambush effect. Um, I think we're not too worried about taking 3 damage from Han. I think we want to set up the knockout on the Han Solo. So we could minus kill the blue leader with Anakin, and then we can. Or, I'm sorry. Yeah, what's the best thing to do here? Let's just go. Just kill the blue leader. Yeah. Let him choose to attack. Sure. Claim the initiative. Okay. There's the card we've been looking for. See what he does here. If he resources or not. We're definitely attacking into Han here. That's the first move. Could have Great Dragon. Yep. Okay. So we're gonna Force Lightning. For 6. Take that thing out. Alright. Okay. Well, that's not great. Avenger's good. So let's. Guess we want Night Sister. In case he finds a way to kill Anakin. Okay. I really love these blue, black, red colors right now in the new format. Like I think they're just gonna be so good because of Force Lightning and Force Throw and all these like when played effects where you're like removing units. I just love the combination of these. So far, I definitely like Darth Maul better than Mother Talzin though. Just waiting on our opponent to pick a card. Okay. So he got rid of Spark of Hope. It's an interesting card that he held onto at this point. We could just take him out. Um, I think that's what we want to do because we don't want the Avenger to not hit whatever he plays. Probably just hold on to the Fang Fighter. And now it's established, and that's going to be pretty strong for us. There's the Smuggler's Aid. Well, now we can play it for 3 or 5, either one. I think at this point with 9 resources, we can play it at 3. So if we pull another Anakin out, we can do -6/6. Yeah. Timely what? Okay. Sure. Okay. What? I don't know what's happening. Okay. Okay. Get game. Yeah. Yeah. That was yeah. Getting the Avenger on board is pretty important in a matchup like this against like Crate Dragons. Force Lightning came in huge against that one Crate Dragon. Good game. Alright, let's look at this hand. We got the Acolytes, Karis, Night Sister. I have a lot of good stuff. Are they gonna be playing any Jedi? Probably. So Fang Fighter's gonna be good. I like this too. Appreciate you. Okay. I like having 2/2 drops. This is hard. This is just where it gets hard, right? Okay. Because Fang Fighter is probably going to be useful. But let's just say that we have enough. We don't need that. Let's go Karis. I like the Night Sister because I want to have a card I can squeeze in next turn and a way to draw cards. Okay. Well, this is why this card is awesome. Another Fang Fighter. We don't need Karis. We don't even need to attack into that. We have the Fang Fighter if we need it, if he like upgrades it immediately. Okay. So we're gonna go here because we have the Night Sister to draw a card. Hmm. Okay. So we'll just attack him with Night Sister here. Yeah, I mean, Kit Fisto's ability is good, absolutely. And of course when you have Force Throw combined with it, it's great. But uh, the issue is not the Kit Fisto; it's the deploy. It's just trash. K2SO. We're just gonna force check that, I think, or no glory, right? Could just no glory and make him discard a card. Not mad about that. Draw another card with Night Sister, or keep the Talzin. I think we're gonna keep the Talzin. Let's just go no glory here. Just get him to discard a card. Okay. Then we can kill that. Does he flip on 5? Yeah, he's a 1/6. I guess. He's gonna have 3 power, be a 3/6. Interesting. Um, and yeah. Okay. That's a good card. I think we'll hold off on that. Just use Talzin to take out things. Six Mesa Window kills that, sure. We'll go ahead and just force choke. 5, we can kill that now. Go here. Take that out. I think I think we're gonna get rid of Marin again. I think we're just trying to get up to like our big stuff like Palps now. Maybe we'll 1 damage to a Starfighter. So a couple things we could do here. Just see what they do. Make it a 0-3, 6-5. Okay, so we could kill this pretty easily, so let's do that. With Force Lightning. For 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we will do this for 3. And we're just going to continue to remove everything from our opponent's board. There's a card. We don't need to get up to 8 resources for that, do we? I don't think so. Just hold it. That 0-3 again. We can go here. And then we can force choke the 5. Gets a card, which isn't the greatest, but okay. Same thing. Now we have 2 cards that we can sacrifice. The 4/4. We can definitely force lightning or Dooku here. Force lightning, he loses ability, so okay. Let's just go ahead and how do we want to kill this thing? We have a couple different options. We can drain essence for 2. I'm not that worried about a 1/6 to be perfectly honest. Let's make it that weaker. Attack into it. Yeah, because we attack into it, it gets down to 2 HP. Right? And then we can drain essence plus force lightning. Force throw. Well, that's... I don't want it to take 8. Oh, those force throws, man. Alright. Guess we just take 2. And then we force lightning. Or we could just kill both things. Right? And just have a 6/6 on board. Hmm. Does he have overwhelm? He does. So let's just play this. Kill K2SO. If he makes us discard, whatever. And then, or we could just kill him. Yeah, let's just play this. Let's just do that and kill Fisto. Now he makes us discard. We don't care. Okay. Yeah, this deck is sweet, man. Especially with the new recent additions. Um, yeah, we're just like disrupting their hand, just keeping things off the board. So it plays very similar to Maul. Very similar. All right. Going first. We have a no glory, which is good. Force lightning, great. No mulligan. I'm gonna let go of acolyte. I guess drain essence. We'll get Karis down first, and then go to the Night Sister. Karis is such a good turn one play. Okay, that's cool. So we're playing against a swarming droid deck, so that means we're playing against Invisible One. Is that the card? Force Lightning, we can Force Lightning for what, 2? Rather just get the Night Sister down. Interesting. I like the idea that they're doing here. We're gonna go Fifth Brother here because Force Lightning is okay. So we're saving the Force Lightning for our boy. We do have a card here. We have Talzin. We can immediately kill this turn. We're not gonna be able to do anything else besides kill their leader. That's okay. I'm trying to think, do I want to keep the card draw? I guess not. Talzin's better. Alright, we're just gonna go here and kill because we know they're gonna attack us anyways. It forces them to just send out their leader sooner, which is fine. I'm okay with that. Yep. That's the idea, right? Sure, our opponent probably wasn't too happy about that. But he is closer to like Vader and Darth Maul, so that's what we got to be worried about next. Okay. Um, Go in. I think we're gonna Talzin. Okay, Vanguard, cool. Could also we could Talzin plus Sorcerer's Blast. We're gonna save the no glory for like the Vader. Another one. It is good um, to have that card, but let's try to diversify. So keeping Anakin is just gonna weaken the big guy. I mean, we're gonna get into big stuff here, so no glory might be the better card. Talzin's the cheaper version of Anakin, basically. Um, hmm. All right, let's try to diversify. So let's go Talzin first. Get rid of one of these. Take less damage. Okay, that's a good card. He's killing Talzin, which is odd. Okay. So that's a 4/4. We're gonna take 4, but I'm not that worried about that because we can remove those. We can actually just hit this. Okay, I'm trying to think how to do this. Okay, let's do minus. Um, okay, so we're gonna just hit the guy that's still alive, right? Or do we just take 2 more? So we want to kill both, so we're gonna use the ability, do the -1/1. Okay, take 1. Then we're gonna deploy. We're gonna attack, pass, do the 1/1. Then we're gonna do this and hit that, and we have eliminated his board. Nice. Gotta love that. I've been practicing with this deck a lot. There's a lot of little things you have to do in the right order, but it is fun when you start figuring out. Okay, it's fine. Okay. Do we have any? Yes, we have things that are in the discard. Good game. Yeah, I mean, it's hard to. It's like what's so good about this deck and the Maul deck? It's just like I'm playing a unit to do that. I'm not playing a removal, so my board is getting bigger as I'm taking care of things, taking care of business. Right. The new card, Sorcerer's Blast, is disgusting. Like just being able to hit for 3 damage for 1 resource is insane, especially paired with Talkin or Maul because you're able to do 4 damage for 1 resource essentially. That's insane. Um, Such a good card. This card is amazing. But yeah, I mean these blue, black, red decks right now are absolutely my go-to. I just love you have such a good mix of removal. Like I mean, blue and red, as I'm sure many of you are aware, is the best color combination for removal cards. And just Force Lightning is disgusting as you saw in this game. Probably one of the other games. Just being able to remove leaders so easily and at will. It's good against lots of things, not just leaders. It's good against strong units as the game goes on. Just a diverse piece of removal. And then on top of that, we have no Glory. On top of that, we have no Avenger. On top of that, we have Anakin and Talkin. On top of that, we have Karis even that does things. I mean, it's just this deck is so much fun. Either one, I think they're both good. I mean, I'm literally playing. I think it's maybe 2 or 3 card difference between the two decks, just because of the different abilities. But in the main board, I think it's exactly the same. I think it's just the sideboard that's different. So this deck is just really, really good. It does take a good amount of playtesting. So, like I said, like in that last turn, we have to do things in the right order and kind of get used to the play patterns. But once you get used to them, um, it is just so much fun. I mean, the biggest difference, of course, is like Talzin's coming out on 5, Maul's coming out on 6. Maul can damage 2 units. Talzin only does -1/1 to 1 unit, but it gets around shields. But I mean, I don't think shields are an issue for Maul because you're because of all the pieces of removal and damage things that you're doing, and the fact that you're playing the same units that are doing -3/3 with the Talkins and the Anakins and um, it doesn't really affect you that much. And I'd say either one is good. And I guess Talzin's coming out a turn earlier, and Maul's coming out a turn later. Has a little more power. So either one is good. They're both very strong. So definitely they are my go-to decks so far for the new set. I feel like I have a good feel, good build with these decks, and just overall just fits my playstyle of like spreading damage around and just kind of frustrating my opponents, keeping their board empty. As you've seen, like from these games, like their board is always empty. And I tried to do a diverse group of different leaders to play against to kind of showcase what I'm doing here. Uh, and as I've gotten this list to where it's at right now, and adding the no glories into the main board was extremely important. That was one thing that was lacking before. I did take out the Smuggler's Aid. I think it's just kind of like a win more card. You don't need it for Anakin. Anakin's already good enough with the -3/3. It's cute, but you don't need it. And then you have top target in the sideboard for life gain. So you could switch that to Smuggler's Aid. to the top target as just to gain a little bit less life to make Anakin a little more valuable. But the thing is, it's just for Anakin, so it's like I'd rather have top target and gain 6 life for those more aggressive opponents. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the gameplay on this one. I love this deck and I love Darth Maul. They are amazing. So let me know how you guys have been those decks, though. Love to hear what everybody's been building. Well, I can't wait for this set. Such an awesome set.